The following program is furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content. Now, from the fifth floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Texas. How we doing out there? Welcome to your Sunday morning. Come on in, stay a while. Time for a little politics, sports, entertainment. Of course, we're going to do real estate and some business talk as well. If you haven't heard the show before, it's kind of a wild grouping of folks that come in and talk with us. And, of course, we have a lot of fun and talk about all kinds of stuff as well. And, of course, we got Richard here in studio from Goosehead Insurance.
Hooray!
How we doing, Richard?
We're doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Good to have you here, our expert in business and insurance.
Business.
By the way, folks, the website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, is a website, and there's all kinds of information at the website. There's a lot of news stories that you're probably not going to find in anywhere else. And then, of course, you can connect with all of us here if you need help in real estate investing, buying, selling, or otherwise. Portfolios, etc. And, of course, business. Any of our partners are here to help you, so you can connect to them, connect to their websites, call them, touch base with them, all that good stuff there. Past interviews on our archive page, as well as the past full shows are on the archive page, SoundCloud, iTunes as well. Actually had a really good interview last week with Mark Williams, Deputy Director over at TxDOT, and we actually had a caller call in about that last week, which we didn't get to, and we got a couple emails about it as well. And I wouldn't have thought that the Deputy Director of TxDOT, that conversation would have generated some calls or emails, but it certainly did. And one of the things that someone had emailed about was obviously tollways. And I did not get to that. We actually had a pretty long conversation with him last week, didn't we, Sam? Yeah, and but we didn't get to a few things. One of those things was tollways,
And the increasing number of tollways and how we constantly get stuff in the mail. Was I even on that? That's the part that drives me crazy, is when we're out driving around and then all of a sudden a month or two later, oh, you were on this one for so long and you owe this much. I'm just like, I just want documentation on this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and tollways is definitely something I would want to talk to him. It was on the list, but it was towards the end. Maybe I should have started with that. But that, shoulders, lack of shoulders. I mean, what do you do if you break down anymore? I mean, half the highways, there's nowhere for you to go. You're just stuck, and then you back up all the traffic, and then HOV lanes. I wanted to talk about the empty HOV lanes. They're just
I love those.
Sitting there.
Yes.
Nobody's driving in. But, of course, the tollways, we're – I just think they're un-American. Aren't tollways un-American?
That's I get into this with my family all the time, and my daughter actually just pulls it out of me because she just laughs about it. Because I'll go on a rant every time we get one of those bills, because it just seems like if I know I'm paying a toll or I know I'm on this road and there is a toll, fantastic. Let me pay it right there, get it out of the way. I don't want to have to deal with something down the road, you sending me something in the mail or it being sent to someone else, and then I get the fine for not paying it when I was supposed to get it. That's the part that drives me crazy the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And half the time you can't prove what they're saying if you were there or not. You're like, what? I was across town then. That wasn't me. It wasn't me. Those tollways, you know what? I definitely want to talk to him about that. So we've been trying to get to see if we can do a follow-up segment with him, because we could do another 10, 15 minutes with him easy. So we will see about that. And for those of you who emailed about it, we're going to try to get some answers to those questions. Of course, I was driving in Arlington the other day, and there was a section between, what was it, Abram and Division?
I believe so.
On Stadium Drive, right?
Right.
On Stadium Drive, and it said it was almost like $6 million to get that done, and it was like a half a mile.
Yes.
Like, what? And we did ask that question to the deputy director, like, it cost like $2 to $5 million, for a stretch of a mile, but this wasn't even a mile that we saw in Arlington. How is it costing that much to do that? And I want some good answers. I don't want a politically correct. I don't want a BS political answer. I want, no BS answer on that.
Well, they definitely don't have my wife shopping for them because my wife said, "Oh, that's too much. We're not paying that." And anytime that we're looking at a contractor or anything,
is half of it just the fact that all the bids that are coming in that we know that the city's gonna just pay whatever. They're not going to be competitive, or it's just the nod and wink of, hey, put it around this price point. We can get that done for you. We know how some of these things get done, right? Like if you and I put in a bid to do some highway construction, let's start a highway construction company, unless we're, rubbing shoulders with the right people. Are we going to get the deal? I don't know.
Well, what I tell my wife all the time is, I don't know that I necessarily want any of my friends making the roads that I'm driving on, especially if it's a bridge.
They can't be any worse, can they?
Now, if it's on solid land, I'm okay with that. But over a bridge, I have to think twice about it if I knew a friend was the one that built it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but that was a fun conversation last week. So if you missed it, it was actually a really good conversation. Check it out on the archive page on the website. Hey, and if you do want to talk to us about anything during the show, of course, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. If you want to talk to us, hey, here's what we're going to do today. Of course, we're going to talk some more with Richard today. We're going to talk with Terri over at Supreme Lending Mortgage. We're going to talk about some interesting things that can increase your take-home pay, by the way, as well as help you get into a home. So increase your take-home pay. And you're wondering, what in the world am I talking about? But it's actually a unique program that Terri has. Not only can help you get a home, but actually increase your take-home pay, changing your tax status. So we're going to talk about that with her later today.
And who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want that? Exactly. And we're going to talk to the folks over at Lone Star Transfer. Hey, we know that there's a lot of people that get suckered into timeshares. And, and there's a lot of people that have enjoyed timeshares, certainly as well. But when you do want to get out of one, it's nearly impossible. And so our friends at Lone Star Transfer are going to talk to us about how to make that happen for you. And so that's what we got going on today. And then, of course, we're going to get to some headlines and whatnot. By the way, on timeshares, helping a client try to find a home, and they and the client's name shall remain nameless, but we were trying to work with them to help them get a home, and we still are. We're kind of, search is a little bit on hold right now, but they called me from out of town. We were putting in an offer on a house. They didn't sign all the documents, and then they went out of town, sort of a impromptu vacation, if you will.
For a timeshare.
Yeah. And so, no, seriously. Yeah. And so they called me, and they're asking me some advice about, now, of course, they termed it vacation ownership. Now, as soon as they said vacation ownership, I'm like, oh, boy, they've been in the seminar. And, in fact, I think they were still, in between, and they probably just went through about 2 to 3 hours of it. They said, we're going to go ahead and buy vacation ownership. And I said, timeshare? And they're like, no, this is vacation ownership. And they literally corrected me that, no, it's not timeshare, vacation ownership. That's what a timeshare is. And they said, oh, well, it's not going to impact anything. It won't impact our credit score. We can still buy a house and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. Oh, my God.
DTI okay before that?
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, we need to send in an urgent reaction team to try to save you and bring you out of there because, they didn't do it. Thank goodness.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, but it was scary at the time because she was saying all the things that they had told her, which is, all their selling points. Vacation anywhere you want, anytime you want, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, you can do that anyway.
If you have one and you like it, fantastic, go for it. But if you're looking at buying a house and then adding that right before, come on. It's that whole thing. Don't spend any unnecessary money when you're thinking about buying a house.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Please don't. And this salesman was good because she was giving me the lines. I mean, I almost wanted to say, hey, yeah, go ahead. Sounds great. Buy it. Buy me one, too, while you're there.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. It was sounding so good. But I was just like, look, folks, when you go to these things, and look, there's good salespeople out there. There really are. And they can sell you anything. And these timeshare sales guys are great. They know if they don't sell it to you right then and there, they're not going to sell it to you. Because there is no, let me think about it. And a week later you call back and, hey, I want to buy that timeshare. You've long forgotten about it.
Oh, heck yeah. You've moved on.
Yeah. And your senses have come back to you somehow, some way, as soon as you leave the building. But trust me, you don't buy it right there, right then, you're not going to buy it. That's why they give you every story, every possibility. By the way, these guys are not licensed in any such way whatsoever. They make you think that they're like real estate agents. They are not licensed in any way, shape, form, or fashion to sell timeshares. So they're just trying, and it's not real estate. It is not real estate. You are not buying real estate. You're buying air.
I was going to say, when you first said vacation ownership,
yeah,
I was going to say, memory ownership also, because that's all you're really going to have with this is the memories of doing this.
Yeah. So the point is, don't mess up when you're about to buy a house. Don't be looking at timeshares or anything else.
Any big ticket items.
Yeah, and Terri, of course, will tell you that. By the way, though, if you do want a vacation spot, here's an interesting story for you. If you're a Jimmy Buffett fan, a Parrot Head, Margaritaville fan, Margaritaville is teaming up with Minto, which is a community developer, and they are developing a Margaritaville lifestyle community. The first one's going to be opening up in Daytona Beach.
Really?
The initial homes are starting in kind of the low to mid 200s, and of course I'm sure they'll have up and beyond that, of course, because it's Florida. And but hey, that's the first Margaritaville community there's going to be, and there's going to be more to come too.
So what makes this community unique, or did they say?
I'm guessing the Jimmy-inspired lifestyle and the Jimmy music, and similar to going to one of the Margaritaville resorts, I'm guessing.
Well, that's what I would guess too, but it's just.
And I'm sure it didn't say this, but it looks like it's probably going to be a 50-plus community, which a lot of the Florida communities are. Like, for example, the Villages. And folks, if you've never heard of the Villages is an entire city. It's basically the size of Arlington with more land mass. Which is 55 and over. It's got a full infrastructure. Think of our infrastructure for a city and then add an infrastructure for golf carts. I mean, literally you drive your golf cart to the grocery store. There's town squares everywhere where there's music at 5 o'clock every day. This place, the Villages, is pretty amazing. So if you're thinking about retiring, actually, folks, look at the Villages. Look it up. Google the Villages, Florida.
I was going to say, not the one off Lovers.
No, yeah. It's a little bit north of Orlando, and this place is amazing. It actually really is. And honestly, in retirement, you might want to consider it. And if you're moving, call me. I'll take care of selling your place here, and I'll hook you up with somebody in the Villages to help you buy down there. Hey, you know what? We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come on back. See you in a few.
The biggest names on the biggest stories here.
We don't care what the NFL thinks and certainly what their political policies are, because they are not a political arm of the state of Texas or the United States of America. They need to learn their place in the United States, which is to govern football, not politics.
News and information, 570 AM KLIF.
When it comes to your mortgage and refinance needs, trust Terri Waggoner, our resident mortgage expert on Inside Real Estate Radio. With a wide range of financing options and competitive interest rates, you can trust Terri for a fast and reliable loan process with superior service. Go to TerriWaggoner.com or 469-644-4818 today. Supreme Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID number 207089, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas, 75032. SML Mortgage Banker Registration, Residential Mortgage Loan Originator. Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true, and as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet walk-in tubs, at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today.
570 AM. 96.3 HD2. That's where you'll find us. News and information. KLIF.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, Mike Kruizinga. We are back inside Real Estate Radio, website insiderealestateradio.com. Hey, we're going to talk exit strategy from your timeshare right here, right now. We got owner of Lone Star Transfer. We got Brian and Karen Holloway here. Brian, how's it going today?
Doing real good. How you doing?
I'm excellent today. And, you know, we like talking to folks about how to help them get out of their timeshares. There's been so many millions and millions of people out there that have been hurt by the timeshare industry. Many people enjoy the timeshare for sure, but so many people find out when it's time to get out of that timeshare, and they may find out the day after they get the timeshare that they want to get out of it. It may be a year down the line or maybe 30 years down the line if they've enjoyed it. But at some point, they're going to want to get out of that timeshare. They find out they can't, and it's extremely difficult. That's when they need you guys. They need to call you guys. They need to go to your website, which is LoneStarTransfer.com, by the way. And the process, although extremely complicated on the back end of what you guys do, which is why it takes a little while to get it done, but so simple on the front end for the client. Isn't that right?
That is correct. It's very strenuous on the back end of what we do, but when you use our service, you're not just a number. You're actually a name to us, and we hand walk every single file through. Me and Karen, we stay dedicated to helping each and every client with satisfaction. And, we're very happy to announce that we've helped over 2,500 people right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we're proud of the fact. We're proud of the fact to be on this radio station. We're proud of the fact to meet you. And we just love helping people and love talking to people. And we'd love to hear about your situation as well. Just call our office and talk to one of us or talk to one of our advisors. And we'll see what we can do in your situation.
Yeah, I mean, every situation is different. Everybody has a different sort of timeshare package, but you guys filter through their situation, And look, folks, the big thing is look, we understand that by the time you get to the point where you want to get out of your timeshare, you are so frustrated. You've dealt with the timeshare company. Who knows how many people you've dealt with at their office or at one of their 800 numbers. You've gotten the runaround. Maybe you've even talked to an attorney. They're expensive. They tell you, hey, it's an ironclad contract. Most attorneys don't know what to do about it. They can't help you. So you're like, where do you turn? You are so tired. You're so frustrated. And so a huge part of what the folks over at Lone Star Transfer do is, you know what? They're going to take the time to listen to you. They're going to listen to your situation. They know you're frustrated. And they're going to figure out what's going on in your situation and what's the best way to move forward. But what you need to know is that they can get you out of your timeshare. And they're going to tell you up front how long it's going to take, and that it does take a while. And you've probably heard other companies out there say, hey, we're going to get you out in a few weeks. We'll get you out in a month, 6 weeks. That is a scam. Straight forwards and backwards. Bottom line is that's a scam right there, because you can't get somebody out of a timeshare that quickly. It just isn't possible. Otherwise, you guys would do it.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you something we cannot possibly do. And it's like you're saying, Mike. I mean, we hear it so many times. People call our office just frustrated as all get out that they paid another company to get out of this thing. Another company out of state, just over the phone. And they just possibly didn't do it. A year later, they're calling our office and telling us the whole situation. And then, we tell them what actually happens and how it works and how long it takes. And then they completely understand about the whole situation and about how wrong it was for somebody just to take their money and run.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, it happens. It happens all the time. And unfortunately, there's so many companies out there that, they look and sound great, but, behind the scenes, it's just all cash and checks, and they're not doing anything with these people's files. They're not trying to help get them out of their timeshare one little bit, and because the thing of the matter is what you guys do is so complicated behind the scenes, and it takes so much time and constant updating, constant looking at the files, constantly working with the companies you have to work with behind the scenes to go through all the motions to get people out of these timeshares, because they really are ironclad. And but yet all the while you're letting the consumer know, hey, you're getting updates, here's where we are in your file. You're always getting communication, and you're always taking care of the folks.
That's right. We keep track every single day of these files, and our customers are our number one priority, and that's why we do this. Is we just love helping people out of these bad situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, if you're in a timeshare and you've hit that point where, you've already tried the normal routes, you've tried to get out of it, you've finally gotten enough of the rigmarole from, the timeshare companies, you're ready to get out, and it doesn't matter what type of timeshare owner you are. You've enjoyed it for many years, you just got in it, and you didn't really mean to. Doesn't really matter. Lone Star Transfer can get you out of it. They're going to listen to you. They're going to take care of you, and they actually do really care about you, and they're going to give you the truth. And the truth is, this is going to be a process, but there's no better company to get you through that long process than Lone Star Transfer. You're going to talk to the owners direct, Brian and Karen Holloway. Their website, LoneStarTransfer.com. LoneStarTransfer.com. Go check them out. Look at all the great reviews that they have, all the great endorsements that they have, and hey, you're going to talk to them direct, and you're going to get taken care of. Well, what do you say? We're going to send it on out of here.
Let's roll.
All right. Hey, folks, another great segment with Lone Star Transfer. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come on back. See you in a few.
The Savage Nation.
How much is this country going to take from these thugs until someone says, enough is enough, we're through with you?
2 till 5 every afternoon on News and Information 570 KLIF.
Far from the shores of home, 2 African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black War correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War, it weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com. And tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays, 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news.
Mavs fans, do you love bobbleheads? Then make sure you get all the Mavericks bobbleheads this season, courtesy of Dr. Pepper. Go to Mavs.com/bobbleheads today and get the best seats to all the remaining 2017 bobblehead giveaway games, including the 2017 Dirk bobblehead and the Dirk Nowitzki Rookie Year bobblehead. Save money, get great seats, see the Mavs, and grow your bobblehead collection. Visit Mavs.com/bobbleheads today.
If you have a timeshare, this time of year you're probably thinking about those maintenance fees coming due. Hi, I'm Karen Holloway, owner of Lone Star Transfer, located right here in the DFW area. Before you pay your maintenance fees, call us for a free consultation, 972-722-3166. We'll get you out of your timeshare and put a stop to those maintenance fees, guaranteed. 972-722-3166 or LoneStarTransfer.com.
KLIF News and Information 570 AM 96.3 HD2.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. And look, folks, you need to get out of your timeshare. Call our good friends over at Lone Star Transfer. I mean, there's so many companies out there that try to take advantage of folks when they're trying to get out of their timeshare. And these guys are just, Brian and Karen are such good people, and they really actually do want to help you. And they're totally going to take care of you. So get with them. Hey, let's do some headlines. There's a lot to talk about out there. Let's get into some headlines. Let's start, I guess, with real estate. Let's start with real estate. Hey, Selena Gomez is putting her home in Fort Worth on the market, looking at close to $3 million, 5-bedroom, 10,000 square foot mansion. Sits on 1.5 acres with a tennis sport court. saltwater pool, outdoor kitchen, cabana, etc., etc. So if you're a big fan of the pop star Selena Gomez, she's got her house on the market. But her little house could fit in the closet of this next property. Kyle Bass's Barefoot Ranch is going to be coming on the market very soon. And, of course, it's only 2,500 acres.
That's all.
Oh, just only.
That's all. Just only 2,500 acres. So Selena Gomez's little Disney pop star mansion could fit in a tiny little closet of Kyle Bass's 2,500 acre ranch. Expected to get probably somewhere between 50 to 100 million for that. And they're using the same group that sold the Waggoner Ranch, which we talked about last year. Remember, we talked about the Waggoner Ranch getting sold to the Stan Kroenke of the Kroenke Group up in Colorado, who's NFL owner, etc. Owns a number of teams and ownership in other teams, the Stan Kroenke Group up there in Colorado. So same group's going to try to sell Kyle Bass's ranch. So there you go on that. Interesting. Of course, the ranch has also got a golf course, boathouse, shooting ranch, paintball course, and equestrian center. So,
well, who doesn't have all that with their house?
Yeah, bring some executives down there to the paintball, ranch, and
you haven't had a very productive month, so you're going to be it, and everyone's going to be against you at the paintball.
That's right. What else we got? Hey, Celine Dion's former home is for sale, looking at about $7 million, down from originally listed at $10 million. Now, of course, she had bought it quite a while back, bought a new home, and sold it for $9 million. But new owner currently, and they're trying to get rid of it for only $7 million. Not too shabby. By the way, she's also got a current property on the market, Celine Dion, that is, on Jupiter Island, listed for $38 million, which is down from $70 million. So. Quite the deal on Celine Dion's current home out in Florida, down from $70 million to $38 million. Good deal for you. How about a vacation home in Florida? Let's grab Don Shula's vacation home. It's listed just under $3 million at 2.7, a little over 6,000 square foot Mediterranean. 2 stories over by Palm Golf Club in Palm Beach Gardens. And a nice little rarely used vacation home of Don Shula's. And so there you go. You can snag his place for $3 million.
So the Miami coach had a vacation house in Florida.
That's correct.
Okay.
I know. I thought the same thing. I'm like, don't you live in Florida?
Wouldn't that just be a home for you, not necessarily a vacation home?
Hey, when you're Don Shula, you can have as many vacation homes in your home state as you want.
That sounds more like an escape pad.
Yeah, I know, right?
I gotta get away from these dolphins.
Yeah, and maybe it'll come with lifetime steaks at Shula's Steakhouse. Maybe that might be a selling point. 18th century Irish castle owned by one of the Guinness heirs is up for $30 million in County Wicklow, 28 miles from Dublin. They filmed The Tudors there, which was an awesome show, The Tudors, and of course they filmed Braveheart there as well. And if you think the 2,500 acre Kyle Bass ranch was pretty good size, this thing sits on 5,000 acres. It's got 7 lodges and cottages, a guest house, and of course the 18th century castle. So there you go, $30 million, 5,000 acres. I'd go for that.
Yeah, but the maintenance. I'd have the $30 million, but the maintenance of keeping all that up would just be too much.
It comes with its own. It comes with its own staff, my good man. I tell you. What else is all right? That's enough real estate talk. What else we got? Let's go to sports. Sports. I thought this story was really interesting. We had. I actually love the NBA, of course, and I love the WNBA as well. And we had Coach Williams. Or Coach Freddie Bass Williams on the show, who coaches the Dallas Wings here in Dallas. Recently when the Dallas team moved down here, and which plays in Arlington, by the way, over at UTA. And but this was a really interesting story. One of the great stars of the WNBA, and of course she was a great college star. Candace Wiggins did a story with the Tribune down in San Diego. The story came out this past week, and there's been some other stories that have jumped off of that story, and then some sort of negative stories as well from it. But she's got a book that's going to be coming out, pretty soon, talking about her time playing in the WNBA, her time playing in college, and her time playing in Europe as well, because all the WNBA ladies play either in Europe or internationally in this off season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she came out and she said that there was just this harmful, nasty culture within the WNBA, and she felt that she was targeted, throughout her WNBA career because, she was straight. She came out flat out in the article and said, look, I'm straight. I'm proud to be straight. I'm heterosexual. Most of the WNBA, she said, was not. And she felt like she had been targeted. She says in the article, she'd never been thrown to the ground so many times and called the B word so many times in her career. It wasn't like that when she played international ball. It wasn't as much that way when she played college ball. So she just said that it was an absolute unreal experience. And, she's saying, quote, people were deliberately trying to hurt me all the time. And, again, says, never been called the B word so many times in my life, like I was, in the WNBA. And so this is a great article. This article is on our website. And, of course, this is a San Diego Tribune article. It's a good long article and really gets into it. She's actually moving on. She just recently retired the WNBA. But, for someone to come out and say, nobody's really ever done that. Most of the time you hear about other things going on in the WNBA, but for her to come out and to say that and just say, hey, I was, she says, and she really talks about her experience, that she was just targeted because of, her sexual orientation, that, by the other players, the coaches, management in the league, etc. And so, very interesting story. I'd highly recommend reading it. And that was a good one. Candace Wiggins, WNBA, and great star. Let's move on to a little bit of politics. Do we have time?
I was going to say, you lost me at WNBA.
I know not everybody pays as much attention to the old WNBA, but hey, they play some pretty good ball. They really do. What else is going on? We'll do a couple political topics real quick. Hey, the Dutch are considering getting rid of the euro. They've ordered a report on that. They might be getting rid of it. They're going to discuss that in Parliament. Donald Trump at CPAC. Hey, I loved this quote. This was the best thing I saw out of it. He says, quote, there is no such thing as a global anthem, a global currency, or a global flag, he said. I'm not representing the globe. I'm representing your country. So that was a quote from Donald Trump at CPAC. That was the best thing that I saw come out of that. That was pretty good. I liked that myself.
And I think every leader should think like that. I mean, they are representing their country and their people, and they've got to do what's best for us or their country.
I absolutely agree. George Bush's daughter, Barbara, is delivering the keynote address at a fundraiser for Planned Parenthood. So that's going to be an interesting family dinner there at the Bush house.
Raised eyebrows. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. But hey, this was an interesting one. This was regarding. This was a story about some of the I Am Muslim 2 rallies across the country. And this was actually Matt Walsh, who does some radio. And he came out and said, he was talking about the Christians that were there. And he said it was just so odd that these Christians, were there in solidarity. And he said, here's what I have to say to that. He says, a Christian may not ever proclaim a faith identity other than his own. Doesn't matter if you're being symbolic. To say I'm Muslim when in fact you're a Christian is to, in effect, renounce your faith. And so I thought that was pretty interesting that he brought that point up. And so you can look at that story. There's a whole story, and there's some good audio on it as well, so you can hit the website and catch that for us. And we've got a few more things to talk about, but we're going to take a short break. We'll see you on the other side.
Glenn Beck.
Donald Trump is doing the things he promised he would do. He promised he would give us a judge, and he did. And people are seeing that he keeps his promise. And they were talking about how that it was important to show people on the conservative side, we'll keep our promise.
Glenn Beck, 8 till 11 on News and Information, 570 AM, KLIF.
Folks, it's Mike the Realtor here from Inside Real Estate, and if you're not listing your property with me, bottom line is you're leaving money on the table. There are over 15,000 agents here in the DFW area, most of whom are part-time and do a few deals a year. Do you want to trust them to sell your home? I think not. Call Mike the Realtor, the radio realty expert from Inside Real Estate on 570 AM KLIF. Promise you will get to me direct. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Don't sell your home with just anyone. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com and connect with Mike the Realtor.
KLIF News and Information. Still at 570 AM. And also at 96.3 HD2.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. Time to do a little business talk. We're going to be talking to our good friend over at Goosehead Insurance, Richard Tonihka, his website, richardtagency.com. richardtagency.com is his website for all your insurance needs, home, auto, and otherwise. By the way, don't forget Goosehead and Richard. They are the only brand, only model that can shop over 20-25 companies behind the scenes to get you the best rate, the best policy. And by the way, they can bundle different companies. You can't go to Allstate, to State Farm, to Farmers, or any other big box and have them bundle from different companies. Doesn't happen. Richard can do that for you, getting you the right policies for you, your needs at the right price. Richard, what's going on?
Hey, how are you doing today?
Excellent.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, I wanted to talk to you today about deductibles. And I know all of us know that deductibles play a role in our insurance and how much it's going to pay, how much it's going to cost us, and how much we're going to have to pay out when we have a claim. Not if we have a claim, but when we have a claim. And so, trying to talk to you about the different types of deductibles, as well as how you're setting up, how we're calculating what those deductibles are going to be taken from. So the first thing is, of course, deductibles. There are two types. There are set amounts, and there is a percentage. Most of the time, actually in the early 90s, it started becoming more common for everyone to start using a percentage. And normally the percentage that you're going to see is 1 to 5% on the dwelling value. And your dwelling value is going to be different from carrier to carrier, because when you're going in and we're looking at your individual house or the house that you're going to purchase, we are looking at what kind of bathrooms do you have? Do you have builder grade? Do you have semi-custom? Do you have custom? And do you have luxury? What kind of flooring do you have in your house? Do you have tile? Do you have hardwood? Do you have carpet? And what kind of percentage? Do you have crown molding? We're looking at all of that stuff, and to make sure that when you have when we're setting up your house and we're setting up the dwelling value of your house, that we have the right amount in there. So let's say you have a claim, and I went in and absolutely just got you the cheapest or least expensive dwelling value I could find. You've got a custom home, but I went in there and I said that you had builder grade material for your bathrooms and your kitchen. When you have a claim, let's say you had a pipe burst in your bathroom, destroyed the whole bathroom. Comes in, we look at your policy and say, the insurance is going to go, oh, you have builder grade stuff in your house, and this is what you agreed to. And you as a consumer have to know what you're signing and what you're agreeing to.
Right.
So when they come in, they're not going to put the stuff that was in there originally, because your agent ended up putting in that you had builder grade stuff. So they're going to put builder grade stuff into the bathroom.
Yeah. So what happens, and you say this all the time, you say when, insurance agents, they know that you're shopping by price, and they do this on you, and you don't find out until you need to make a claim.
Exactly. And that's the wrong time to find out about anything.
Yeah.
Is after the fact. That's the reason I walk through on making sure that what kind of amenities do you have in your house? What are you paying for? Now, if all you're looking for is that your dwelling value is over your loan amount, which is what some people want, because like I always say, we all have different risks. And so what your risk is going to be different from mine. And if all you care about is having that your dwelling value above your loan amount, so if you have a total loss, that it pays off the loan and you've got a little bit extra to go find another house, then fine. That's what we do. It's up to you. But as an agent, I am supposed to go in there, and I do go in there to make sure that I've got it set up correctly for you and your family.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, and it's, folks, you need to understand that if you do have, obviously you want to pay the least amount that you can pay every month. But at the same time, how do you balance that with being covered? I mean, one thing you don't want to do is chintz out and have, like you say, put in lower end things. When it comes time to replace, you're going to get what you're going to get.
You're going to get lower grade stuff put back in.
Yeah.
So out of those two things, the set amount and doing it as a percentage. So let's just take a nice round number of a $200,000 house. We've gone in, we made sure that the replacement cost is correct. Everything comes out. Your home is $200,000 as far as the replacement cost for the insurance is concerned. We give you a 1% deductible. So that means if you have a claim or something comes up, you are going to pay out of pocket $2,000 if you have a 1% deductible on your house, if you have 1%, in making for any claim, whether it wind and hail or anything inside the house. So going in, making sure that is $2,000 enough for you, or is it low enough, or do you want more? Because on a personal level, a claim has to be double what my deductible is. So that $2,000 that I would have for this particular claim, let's just say a water claim, it would have to be $4,000 before I'm going to come out of pocket. If it's $2,500, I'm basically putting a claim on my record for $500.
Right.
It's not enough. I mean, we all have a budget that we have to stay in, and we all have reserves, or hopefully we all have reserves that we're looking at. And so my magic number is twice my deductible, and I always keep my deductible at 1% just because I don't want that rate to be too high where it just makes it where I'm never going to put a claim in to begin with.
Right, exactly.
And so that if you have that 1%, or you even move up to 2%, now you're looking at moving from 1% to 2%, you're going to save a few $100s on your on your premium.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a claim, now you're looking at $4,000 rather than the $2,000 you would have had with the 1%. And they even go up to 5% in some cases, which to me is absolutely ludicrous, but it's for somebody that doesn't care about anything except for a total loss. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at $10,000 in that instance. So is that something that you want to think about to try and get your premium down? Who knows? Then the other one is the set amount. Normally it ranges anywhere from $1,000 up to $5,000. And so we're going to take that same example of the $200,000 house. You have a set amount of $1,000. So now you're looking at saving $1,000 on your out-of-pocket expense in a claim. Does that mean that your rate's going to go up dramatically? Maybe, maybe not. I doubt it. I mean, we never know until we go in and start running the numbers. But even if you went up to $2,500, that's a 1.5%. That may be a better option for you than paying the 1% or the 2%, because neither one of those actually fit your budget.
Right.
So when we're looking at this, how should you choose your deductible? It's going to be on a case-by-case basis, and we never really know because not all the options are there for every carrier. Some carriers strictly do it by a percentage. Some offer you the set amount and the percentages, but you never really know.
Yeah, and the important thing to recognize, folks, is that when you're going to a big box and trying to shop around, and if you say, hey, you want to talk about your deductible, they don't want to talk about your deductible. They're just going to be like 2%, bottom line. Whereas if they come to you, you've got options because of all the companies that you work with. You've got options to talk about. Maybe a set deductible is the way to go for them. Different options for different people.
Absolutely.
But when they go to a big box, they're not going to get options really. So going to you with the 20-25 companies you can shop behind the scenes, you've got those options.
Not only do we have the options with with all of our different carriers, but also the different deductibles and everything else that we can offer you. It's just a no-brainer to let us shop you with over 20-25 different carriers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I can make a pitch, an agent within my agency, Julie Wells, will be in Farmers Branch March 5th from 6:30 to 8:30, 2435 Squire Place, Farmers Branch, March 5th from 6:30 to 8:30. Go visit her and ask her about insurance.
There you go. And folks, don't forget, hey, RichardTAgency.com is the website for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, toys, otherwise, motorcycle, RV, whatever you got, and life. RichardTAgency.com. Talk to Richard, give him a call, and he's going to take care of you. See you in a few.
The biggest names on the biggest stories. Here.
For some low-level NFL advisor to come out and say that they are going to micromanage and try to dictate to the state of Texas what types of policies we're going to pass in our state, that's unacceptable.
News and information, 570 AM, KLIF.
The Richard Tonihka Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonihka Insurance Agency Network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonihka Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002.
Truck drivers, it's never too late for a fresh start. Schneider, an industry leader since 1935, is hiring drivers now and will be holding driver recruiting events soon. Meet a Schneider recruiter February 24th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Schneider's Dallas facility off LBJ Expressway, or February 28th, 9 to 5 at the Homewood Suites in Irving. That's February 24th in Dallas or 25th in Irving. Get full event and driving job details with a zip code search at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs.
KLIF News and Information, still at 570 AM and also at 96.3 HD2.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. We're back with Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga here, your host and local DFW Realtor. We're going to do a little mortgage talk with Miss Terri Waggoner. Terri, how's it going?
Good morning, Mike. Doing good. How about you?
I'm excellent.
Good.
You know, I know we're always looking for ways to get people into a house, and sometimes, you know, we need to pick a different program or different pieces to try to help boost somebody into a house.
Right.
And so let's talk about this program that you want to bring with us today.
Right. That's the MCC, the Mortgage Credit Certificate. And yeah, sometimes we've talked about debt-to-income ratio before. Sometimes when the debt-to-income ratio is high, this program kind of saves us. In some instances.
Sure.
So I just kind of wanted to highlight a few of the points on the MCC.
And before you get there, so what does this MCC really do? I mean, how does it help us?
How does it help us? MCC is designed, basically it's a certificate that you give to your HR department, and you are actually issued a credit on your taxes that allows you to realize more of an income on your paycheck. Okay. So the maximum amount that you can get on that is $2,000 a year, which comes out to $166.67 a month. And how that computes in our loan process is we add that as additional income for you. And then it is something that you as the homeowner will have to renew ever so often. It may be every year, but I don't think it is. Because they're going to base it off what you owe on the house. So 10 years down the road, you're not going to get as much as what you're getting here in the beginning.
Right.
So they have a simple calculation that they do to determine how much of a credit you're going to get. But you can renew it. You don't have to renew it, but you can renew it every year and just make sure that your HR department has that certificate and can issue you that credit.
And so this can be a great way to get people over the hump
Right.
when we're in a sort of a debt-to-income ratio issue
Right.
with their loan.
That is correct.
And so even though that doesn't sound like a big amount, you'd be surprised, folks, that can get you over the hump.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It makes a big difference
Huge
in some
difference.
instances. Yeah.
Yeah.
So utilizing the MCC program, you have to be a first-time home buyer. This is not, you can't use it on a refinance or you're selling your current home and you're buying a new one. Can't use it in that situation. First-time home buyer, which means, what's a first-time home buyer definition, Mike?
Well, now, isn't this one going to be only the 2-year or 3-year mark?
3-year.
Okay.
If you have not owned, you've been paying attention.
I have. I've been paying attention in school.
If you have not owned a property in the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. Crazy, right?
So technically, it's not necessarily as
yes.
a first-time buyer.
Right. So if
Just
you have
in
not
3
owned,
years.
That's right. So if you've not owned a property in the last 3 years, you would be eligible for the MCC.
All right.
How do we determine that tax returns? We are going to need to see the last 3 years' tax returns to make sure that there's no mortgage on your tax return. Okay. So we're going to look at that. There is no minimum credit score. So we at Supreme Lending on an FHA loan go down to a 580 credit score. You can use the MCC on that program down to a 580. No minimum credit score required.
And that's huge. And
that's kind of big.
And a lot of the folks that are going to be kind of in that ballpark, are probably, going to need this.
Might need a little help there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We can combine this MCC, and actually in a lot of instances do combine it with the grant programs that we've talked about so many times. So all of the grant programs that we have in our office that we utilize, you can combine with the MCC program. So for that program, we just talked about minimum credit scores. For the grant program, you have to have a 640, so keep that in mind.
Right.
So if we're combining it with one of the grant programs, your credit score does have to be a 640 or better.
Higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can combine those two together and kind of make sure that they complement one another. Okay. The fees associated with the MCC used to be a little higher, but they have reduced the fees. It's a one-time fee added to your closing costs of $500.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's not bad for a continuing $2,000 credit back to you on a yearly basis.
Right.
So you've recouped that, in the first year.
Exactly.
Okay. But the MCC allows us, like we've talked about, it's saved us many times if our debt ratio is just a little too high and we can't pay off debt, there's nothing there to pay off. We plug that MCC program in and it works. And there's not a whole lot of
It looks like Terry's mic cut out there. That's okay. But, anyway, talking about MCC, folks, look, this is a great way to change, your income status. It can give you a little bump in income. It can give you exactly what we need to get you into a loan. Plus, hey, you get a little bit extra money, every month. So not a bad deal there at all. Folks, for all of your mortgage needs, whether it's refinance, new purchase, Texas cash out. If you need to get some cash out of your main asset, that's your home. Hey, Terry's the girl to talk to about that. TerriWaggoner.com is her website. TerriWaggoner.com is her website. So catch up with her for all of your mortgage needs. Hey, it looks like we've got maybe a little bit of time left. Let's throw out a couple more headlines here for you real quick. Hey, did you see this? Starbucks? Hey, they decided they want to hire 10,000 Muslim refugees. And according to a Yahoo Finance survey, since that announcement, their perception, they do these perception metrics all the time. And so the Yahoo Finance report said that it dropped by 2/3 since they announced that. So instead of hiring veterans and Americans, they're hiring 10,000 Muslim refugees over Starbucks. So, hey, if you're a Starbucks fan, well, there you go.
Well, that always brings me. What happened to hiring the best available?
Thank you.
And admitting the best available.
Thank you.
And there should be no other discussions or anything else. You get the best that's out there that you have to pick from, and then just everything will be all right.
Yeah, I mean, if you just do it the right way, you don't judge a book by its cover, by the content, is it a good candidate? Are they, do they have a brain? Are they going to work? Are they going to do the job? Do they have personal issues? Are they on their phone all the time? Are they playing Facebook all day long? We want to hire people and put them in jobs that can do the job. Who cares, what color, creed, religion, etc. you are. Just hire the best person. I 100% hear you there.
Absolutely.
Hear you there, Richard.
I know American veterans are the best choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're get it done people. So make it happen. Just hire the right person, and that could be anybody.
And it just makes life so much easier for everybody, you and your customers.
Exactly. Totally agree, Mr. Richard. Totally agree. What else we got on? Hey, down in Houston, there was some protests going on. Speaking of refugees, actually, organizers were talking about the civilization jihad, which I had talked about in other segments, that the Muslim Brotherhood, which is part of their plan for the North Texas, by the way, as well as South and Central Texas. Part of their plan is civilization jihad. It's no secret. It's in their documents as revealed by the FBI on a number of their operations. But there was some protests going on there down in Houston, and in particularly some of these organizations, nonprofits that are receiving the money for some of these refugees as well. So that there's a lot going on with this, and people.
So who was having the protest? Was it?
Well, there was actually a number of protests. There was a protest against there was a protest against a protest, and also the folks who were want the open carry, they came out and protested as well.
And
so
why not?
It was like 3 protests in one. But by the way, after California, Texas is the second in line as far as the number of refugees. Houston, obviously, the top city for resettlement. The primary protest down there was protesting, the refugees. In particular, they were coming from terrorist countries because they're not being vetted. And so that was the primary source of this protest, although there was like 3 protests in one. But that's a good story on the website, so catch that, folks. Hey, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, folks. And, hey, we're here every week, 8 to 9 a.m. live. Week 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 8 to 9 a.m.